Hey everyone, welcome back. Last week we did not have a podcast, which was terrible because the Switch 2 officially launched and I had to go to London, England, not London, Ontario.
Yeah, there is an Ontario,
There
right?
is. So I do apologize for that, guys. And also, Mr. Tim here didn't even open the box for
Well,
his
and there's a
Switch.
reason for that. Let me explain,
Right,
guys,
right,
before we
right.
get going. The day the Switch 2 came out, okay, look, my friend said this Dune Awakening. I'm an MMO guy, and I've been hooked on Dune Awakening since it's been out, just to let you guys know. It's going to be probably my main game for a long time. Anyways, so my friend, my real life friend, Zam, that's his handle, said, I'll wait for reviews. I'll see how it goes. I'm not buying the early access because you have to pay $20 more to get the 5-day early access, and I'm dead against it. Someone's dead against it that I gave in. But anyways, my friend, I look on Steam. I go, "What the f, dude? I thought you were gonna wait." He goes, "Well, I did." I go, "Why didn't you tell me?" "Well, I knew you wouldn't buy it because I told him I wouldn't." I go, "Dude, damn it, you're forcing me to pay." Because him and I love to play together in the MMOs, right? It's been our bonding thing ever since we were young, in our 20s. Anyways, so I got it and I've been hooked ever since. So that I blame that. But I did open up the Switch and got it ready, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
yeah, it was
guys,
bad timing. Bad timing.
so we have, there's too much to cover in 1 hour. We're never going to be able to do this. So
Never.
what I'm going to propose is let's talk about the Switch. That's the big thing that's on everyone's mind right now. That's the big thing. And I really want to give you guys I really want to talk about this, to be really honest, because you know Nintendo is the last true game company that exists that still makes hardware, and so
What? Sony comes into chat.
like
That old meme.
it's it's something special. Like when one of these machines comes out, it's like it's a special thing, especially for those of us that have been here since the
Since pretty much
original
day one.
and so we've got the Microsoft showcase that they announced a whole bunch of stuff. We've got the Konami sort of showcase where they announced some stuff. Capcom has some stuff, but all of this stuff is going to be secondary. I don't want to rush this. We'll have our discussion. If it runs late, it's all good. We'll push the stuff into next week. Tim thank you. You did a good job with like all the links and stuff like that so that we can talk about this. I really don't want to be rushed because there is a lot to talk about. And yeah, so let's get going. I know you haven't spent as much time as I did. I had basically multiple flights that I took, so I had a lot of time with the Switch 2, right? Like
Yeah,
there's nothing better than a 7 hour flight.
exactly. And but next week we'll have more things because we have some play sessions scheduled with Cranberry and some other members of the Discord for Mario Kart World. And I can't wait for us to start talking about our impressions. You go first because you have more experience, but
Yeah,
my
sure.
first impressions, yeah.
Okay, so first impressions, I like to start whenever it's a new console, about the console itself, right? So I don't want this to come across as like either fanboyish or too harsh. So I'm just gonna tell you like what I thought, right? So when I got the box, I had to go in person to GameStop, or as they're now rebranded in Canada, EB Games, and I got to tell you guys, what an absolute mess that was. I had it pre-ordered, right? Like from whatever the heck they opened the pre-orders. I don't know who the hell was running this GameStop, but like, man, I don't want anyone to get fired, but it was pathetic. I had to wait almost 3 hours to in a gargantuan lineup when all I did was literally walk in, give my receipt, they went and got the system, and I left. Like I I
Yeah,
I, I don't get it.
that
Like
yeah,
I
that's kind of
truly
sucks.
I truly don't get it. Now, part of it was kind of cool. Like while I'm waiting in the line, like I haven't done this, guys, since the PlayStation 2, believe it or not. All the other systems I've had delivered to me. And so it was a little nostalgic to be surrounded by the gamers and, you know, stuff like that. And like they were chatting about what they were excited to play and, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But like I'm a grown adult now where I'm just like, give me my thing. I want to go home and like, you know, I got to take my back pills. like
funny. Can you remember I told you I think we talked about it last podcast. So well, anyway, I told you my friend that couldn't get it on Walmart.com. You remember we were talking about that? He went to Best Buy, got it. He actually got it at 9:00 Pacific Standard Time. So they sold it at midnight Eastern Time. So that was cool. You didn't have to wait the extra 3 hours. And he got it. And he really hasn't played it. I'm like, so you can't blame me. We just don't have the time.
But there's something really interesting about this, because as I was waiting in line, there were a bunch of people that were in the line that did not pre-order it, and one of the employees kept coming out and was like, guys, we have like 200 systems, so don't worry. Like,
wow,
like don't worry,
nice.
like. Then, right across the street from that location is a Walmart. And that Walmart, people were like, guys, there's a giant cage. They have whatever you need. Like, if you want to go in and buy 7 Pro controllers and a whatever, like, have at it. So people actually left the line, went to Walmart, got their system and whatever accessories and stuff they wanted, got back in their car while I was still waiting with my pre-order receipt in hand. So that was a mess. Okay. Like I just say that wasn't handled well. There should have been 2 caches open, one for pre-orders, one for those that didn't have pre-orders, and away you go. You should never have to wait 3 hours in line on like that was ridiculous. I thought that was nuts.
Yeah.
Anyway, get the system.
But that's not Nintendo's fault.
No. God, no. So I get the system, and it looks exactly like my OLED, like the box. I was really surprised by that. Like, it's literally the same box, like same color, same everything. I was a little surprised by that, because remember the whole Wii U fiasco was like parents and others didn't know that it was like a new system. Here, everyone knows it's a new system, but I was surprised that they kept the coloring and everything identical to the original one. So hopefully nobody makes any mistakes and goes and buys like an OLED Switch instead of a Switch 2. So the thing, when I was coming home, the thing that I was like really impressed, and I will give Nintendo major kudos to this, was the fact that if you want a Switch 2, guys, you can pretty much get one. Like, scalpers, this is the one system. Scalpers are screwed, man. Like...
And this is something I've told about over the years, is I don't know what it... Maybe just Nintendo prepped it months and months ahead, but you know, I just recapped how fast did it sell. So as you can see, 3.5 million in the first 4 days, 175,000 per day. It outsold the PlayStation 4,
everything.
5, the original Switch, and of course I love how they put the Steam Deck that sold 3.7 in the first 4.5 years. So the Nintendo Switch is the best-selling console ever. I don't think anything's going to beat its record. But the point is Nintendo did say that they will have enough for launch. Yeah. Why didn't these companies do this for every year? I think there's a couple of reasons for it. One, Nintendo probably knew the Switch 2 was going to sell like hotcakes, so they knew that. But before is, I think that companies like to do that to create hype. Oh, it's sold out within 10 seconds, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's why. But it just shows you is why don't more companies do this? Why is it you have such a hard time at launch, right? And I think some of it's marketing, but Nintendo knew they had so much success with the first system that they took the risk. You know, hey, imagine if it didn't sell that well. It's pretty sitting there on shelves. You know, that don't look good for investors. What do you mean? We didn't sell all out. You promised us it would. So, who knows?
But I'm floored, guys. Like, I've never been able to get the system, all accessories that I wanted this easily. Like this was really, like, kudos to them. They did a really, really, really good job. So anyway, get home, open the sucker up, and this is where it's kind of funny. Like, I've heard people online talk about like mixed sort of reactions that they had to this. And I'm just a little bit like that in terms of the physical nature of it. Like, it's a much larger system. It's like heavier. I told you guys before, I'm not a huge fan of the form factor. I never was. Like, I prefer like grips on the handles. It's just because my wrist, I don't know what it is. Like,
I don't like people like that, dude.
So, but I never, like, this was a problem I had with the Switch. It's obviously, it's actually better with Switch 2 because it's bigger, so it is easier to hold, but I'm gonna get something for the Joy-Con so that they contour a little bit, and I have like grips like on the Steam Deck. I do like that with the Steam Deck, that it feels like an actual controller. And then you turn it on, right? And so this is where a lot of my friends and folks online were like, this is probably the worst Nintendo system ever made in terms of innovation. It literally is the Nintendo Switch 2, like in every sense of like the word. And I was a little taken back, I won't lie. Like, when I booted it up the first time, it's the Switch. Like, the exact same interface, same colors, same...
You know? It's a little bit sharper in like the little icons are animated. That's kind of cool. But, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
and
I get that.
Seamless experience.
I get that.
But you're right. Like, I don't like how it's literally the same interface. Like, virtually nothing's changed, guys. The only difference is when it boots up, it has, of course, the Switch 2 logo, the click, and then the icons at the bottom are animated as they show. But that's it. Other than that, is literally, and that's kind of disappointing. I always like a new system, new interface, and all that. But I can understand they want to keep it seamless, aka they want to. And that's another thing we're going to talk about, aka reducing cost. We're gonna talk about that because this is an issue. About the pricing of their games, and I watched a video about it, which puts it a lot more into retrospect of Nintendo's current philosophy compared to what it was used to be, and their whole respect the value, and that's what they think, and then I don't know, man.
Okay,
Switch breaking records, so
we'll get there. We'll get there. So anyway, so. That was a little jarring, like when you first see that. Like, it's for me, okay, this is just my own personal opinion. I was just like, oh, like, okay. One thing I love is, like, during the onboarding process, Steven was really worried about this, and so was I a little bit, of like, how do we transfer
I was impressed with it,
like, stuff, but it was a joke. Like, and guys, public service announcement here, warning, do not skip that step. Because if you skip that step, you can never do it again.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, you have to do a complete factory reset on your system.
Wow, that's a failure on Nintendo's part. Yeah.
Yeah. So just as an
because
FYI,
I was tempted to skip it so I could just have Mario Kart. Don't worry about the Switch 2.
Well, you're lucky.
The Switch 1 stuff, but I decided to go through because I wanted to see what it was like, and I was actually impressed on how seamless it was.
Yeah.
But but that's good to know, guys. That's a failure because Apple and Android, you could skip the new phone setup, skip it, and do it anytime you want. Again, 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Yeah, but okay, so hold up. So that I really liked, and it took forever. On my side, it just took forever, man. Hours and hours and hours and hours and
hours. You must have a lot of games. No, mine was...
I did, but...
Not that long.
I should have canceled more than I did. Like, I let everything download, and I shouldn't have done that because, I got like hundreds of games and stuff. So anyway,
maybe that's what it is.
Anyway, so that's done. At first, I was a little confused of how do the upgrades work, right? So like Pokemon and stuff like that, if it's not a paid upgrade, it'll just be the latest firmware. So whatever the latest software release is, like I think with Pokemon, I think it's like version 4 or something like that. Don't quote me, I might be totally wrong. But as long as those games are like up to date, you're totally fine. The other ones, you have to go into the eShop itself. So like Zelda... And those are the only ones that I had that were like purchase upgrades. Also,
Violet was automatic for you?
Yeah, Violet, Sword, Shield, Scarlet, and Violet. Those are all those are all automatic, so you don't have to worry about those. But it was interesting because like when I went to download Zelda, like you have to click on the paid version, and then when you get into the page, there's like a little bar that's like, oh, free upgrade for online members type thing. So I went ahead and downloaded that. Super impressive across the board. It's so funny to hear Steven. He's like, it's like Pokemon's being played in fast forward. He's like, it feels like a Chinese knockoff. And I just laughed. I laughed. I'm like, dude, that's 60 FPS, man. Like that's what it should feel like all the time.
Oh yeah, exactly. And it's good that they're doing. And another thing too is, like I said, or is I think you see this a lot. You're going to see Nintendo finally, like Sony, another thing where it's a PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 being released at the same time. They're not going to abandon the Switch anytime soon.
No, exactly. So anyway, so that's that, right? Like, so download all the stuff. It took way longer than I thought. So while everything was downloading, was messing around with the Pro Controller, which is excellent.
Beautiful. Yes.
Really.
I love it. It's great. Yeah. Beautiful. Mine's charging.
Yeah, it's that was fantastic. So I really, really like that. Overall, the system, because it's so similar to the Switch, I really don't have much to talk about. I mean, the magnetic snapping thing.
That's cool, right?
Yeah,
I like that. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, like that works well. Where the placement of the SD card is all good. I mean, I really don't have much to say because it's so similar. That was the only part of, like, there were two things that I was a little, I don't know, it's not disappointed. It was just, I don't know, it wasn't as like, wow, was when you boot it all up, you set it all up, you're kind of like, okay, well, it's the Switch.
Yeah,
right?
it didn't feel that new.
Yeah,
it didn't have that. Yeah, at all.
But wait, this is why I told you to grab your system before this podcast. Because that's the initial reaction that I had, right? Where I was like, okay, like, you know, whatever. Like, let's jump into the games. Then you start playing, like, some of the Switch 1 games, and you definitely feel it. Like, there's no question about it. You know this is a much, much beefier piece of hardware. I have currently 4 Switch 2 games. I got Bravely Default, Cyberpunk, Mario Kart, and Fantasy Life. Mario Kart, I mean, I don't want to go into...
World? Which Mario Kart?
World. Like, I said Switch 2 games, like actual Switch 2 games. We can talk about the games, like, separately if you want to do that, but it pretty much is exactly what I thought for me. Like, I'm not a giant Mario Kart guy. So for me, the launch lineup was okay. It's not... It's probably my least favorite Nintendo launch lineup ever because the first party game isn't one that I'm a diehard fan of. Like
really?
Zelda, yeah, Luigi's Mansion, you know, like all these sorts of things, yeah, for sure. But for Kart is, I've said this for months, Kart is a +1 game for me. So it's a fun game for me. Like I played a little bit on the plane and stuff like that, but I'm not going to devote hours and hours and hours. So for me,
there's a lot of stuff to unlock.
I know, yeah, for sure. But it's like, if it's not your, you know, cup of tea, as they say, then it's not, you know, you're not going to find it like exhilarating. But what's super cool with the hardware and what I've been super impressed with is basically the game chat feature. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. So basically you press the C button on any of the controllers and it basically takes your main screen and pushes it back so that you get like a little pop-up. You guys have seen this where you see like down below all your friends and stuff like that. And what's cool is like you can easily share your screen and it goes to like 15 frames a second or something like that, which whatever. But the thing is, your main game stays. There's no slowdown. There's no whatever. And like Steven and I were messing around with it the other day and I had my camera on. So I had my camera sharing my screen while he's sharing his screen. And there was no slowdown whatsoever on my main game. That was running absolutely. And I was like, this is the first time since like the GameCube where I was like, okay, this thing has some like pep to it. This is not just like, I mean, it might not be from a technical standpoint as powerful as like, you know, some of the other consoles and stuff like that, but I think this is actually a lot stronger than any of us realized in terms of its execution. Like that's not an easy thing to do. And I played Cyberpunk and I was damn impressed, man. I was like, okay, like this is going to be interesting to see. I still think we need a Nintendo Direct because Mario Kart's going to sell, you know, 50 million units. That's going to do incredibly well. But for people like me, like, come on, man. Like, I'm excited now. Like, and I'll be honest, I haven't been this excited for a Nintendo machine in a long time. Like, this is cool, man.
And my first impressions, okay, so I was really impressed on how seamless it was to transfer, real easy. You got a QR code, you scan, bam, 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 awesome. I actually didn't forget my Nintendo account password because it's been years since I logged in because I just put it on Switch. Anyways, I forgot. I love the Pro Controller, slick, beautiful, good stuff. I love the magnetic stuff. Now, for Mario Kart, the first impressions, it's obviously I haven't played Mario Kart for a long time, so the first round I had to get a little back into it. And then I started coming in first. Anyways, it looks very good visually, and now I'm playing on the screen. I don't like that, so I have to wait until I get onto the monitors, the 1440p monitor, so I'm going to see it on there. It looks very cool, very nice, but I don't know, man. Handheld to me is I'm not a fan of it. I feel like you're not seeing its true potential. It could be just me, and you know, when you get 40 plus, your eyes aren't as good as they used to. Maybe that's what it is. But anyways, it's smooth, it's silk, it's beautiful. Of course, great presentation. There's a few things on I noticed is because I wanted to see because I heard and I wanted to confirm. So like you could create a room for your friends. That's cool, right? Invite them and all that kind of stuff. But like if you go to Knockout Tour, by the way, which is Battle Royale, which is probably the one I'm going to play the most. You go in there, if you click on the main one online, you cannot invite friends to there. I noticed that. So you see, again, I don't understand Nintendo. It's like it's 2025 and they don't have features that's been around for how many years now. And yeah, that's kind of sucks, dude. And like I said, back to that video it kind of makes sense because we all know Japan focuses on the Japanese market and every other market's an afterthought. We know that. And in Japan, they're highly mobile and also they're very much about face-to-face multiplayer. So that now makes sense why Capcom, Konami, Nintendo are quote unquote behind the times compared to other markets is because that's what their native country likes. No, that's no downgrading of, you know, Japan's Japan. They like what they like, but it's beyond baffling to me that I cannot invite you into knockout mode so we could go play against 22 other players. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, there is some weird stuff like that. But that's not just Nintendo, man. That's like
no. I told you that it's not just Nintendo.
Yeah,
but you could see the differences. In philosophy and I mean, you could say that that's them cutting costs, but how much extra?
No, I don't see that. You know? No, I think that's more cultural because, like, Monster Hunter.
Yeah, it is a cultural thing. Yes,
Monster Hunter,
cultural.
Monster Hunter is exactly the same. So, like, you and I could be in a team, but we can't join a public event. Like,
it's a cultural thing. I think I'm gonna have Jared link that if you guys are interested on the history of Nintendo's philosophies and how Japan's a little bit different than Western markets. And there's not knocking culture. You have to respect other countries' cultures, and that's what they think, and that's perfectly fine. But yeah, it's just to me is if you're going to make a system for the global market. And by the way, the U.S. outsells Japan, so it's like I can understand them being, you know, prideful and want to focus on their market, but they have to also remember their other customers, right? And yeah, it's just it's frustrating, Jared, because it's like, you know, we're used to these kind of features for years now, and we still can't play them on the Nintendo. So And like I said, the same thing, frustration with the Monster Hunter. It's
Yeah.
like my friend said it with World when we were playing. He goes, dude, this is bullshit. Why can't we do it? I'm like, dude, it's just the way Japan is. The Japanese games are different. We say, oh, they're behind the times, but it's really what it is the cultural difference. Besides the point, Mario Kart smooth, excellent presentation. But I'm looking at it though, and you know, Mario Kart Strikers has this Cup Battle League where you, and like a tournament thing and leaderboards and stuff like that. Why is it that Mario Kart, we haven't had a proper Mario Kart for 11 years, like again, not counting the AR version and the mobile version, those are not consoles. Why don't we have that with Mario Kart? Those are little things like Nintendo doesn't ever do, dude, and I just don't understand that. And I know it's not game breaking or a deal breaker, but it's like they don't really put extra effort, and that goes back. And I want you to watch that video on how they're, and this is very much them, is reducing cost. They don't want to put anything extra if they don't want to. Okay, that's fine. If it's a $49.99 game, you're charging $80 for premium stuff when your competition has significantly better. But at the end of the day, there's really no competition for Nintendo. So that's a scary thing.
Yeah, I'm
right
really
there.
curious. Like, I mean, again, I'm not one to comment on Mario Kart. I'm not the right demographic.
But you do see what I'm saying,
Yeah,
right? They
yeah,
don't
of
put the
course. No,
extra
no,
effort.
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Donkey Kong was just looking. You know, Donkey Kong
You think that-
Bonanza is $100 here.
It's
Like,
not, I
that's
guarantee you,
a
dude,
lot
it's not.
of
It is not
money.
worth that money. It's not worth it. And I'm surprised you're going to buy it.
Like, well, for me, it's like that. To me, is going to be the launch title of the Switch. Like, for me, this is going to be like the main, like that main game. And then I have Mario Kart that I mess around with, and I have been having fun with Mario Kart, by the way. It's just thanks to Steven, he got me all hooked on Fantasy Life, that monster.
Yeah, I noticed you've been playing that.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
fun,
that
man.
mofo. And I look, you haven't played Mario Kart for a
Like-
while. I'm like, that effing Jared,
like,
dude, playing a game that's not even Switch. A quick thing though, before we let you go, I heard that Mario Kart World was in development for the Switch. Was that true?
Yeah, probably.
So that means we're not going, quote unquote, getting the true next gen yet, even though there's a lot of cool details, guys. Don't mind me. There's little cool animations. It's very nice presentation. The way the characters, I don't think that's Nintendo Switch. It's a rock solid framework per second. There's no, I'm not degrading. The game looks great.
Yeah.
But are we seeing a true Switch 2 game built from the ground up? Maybe Donkey Kong is going to be
even that,
no?
I would be surprised. I think the first ones are going to be like, I mean, maybe, but usually, like, you know, the last three, I think, like consoles, like let's see, what did we have? So with the Wii, we had not the Wii, with the Wii U. No, even with the Wii, right? Well, didn't Twilight Princess hit on both?
Yeah. They went on both.
So you had that. Then you had, Breath of the Wild was a Wii U game. Everyone forgets that. That was not a Switch game.
Switch game.
And,
so we haven't seen a proper, well, I guess Tears of the Kingdom, but Tears of the Kingdom.
That's hard because Tears of the Kingdom, was really just the same engine, same everything.
Yeah, there wasn't much difference. Yeah.
So
we hopefully we get a proper.
Yeah, I
Switch
think
2
so.
games within next year or so.
Oof,
and you always know the first gen Switch, any console going, the first gen is just kind of like the learning phase for developers. And as they get more experience, they but no mistake, guys. Mario Kart looks very nice.
It does look nice. That was the game that I played. That's the game I played at launch. But now it's just Steven. This is all his fault. I've been really enjoying Fantasy Life.
Cyberpunk. He was playing that earlier.
Cyberpunk, though, is dead serious, man. For those that that haven't had the ability to like play this game, or like, I can't tell you how impressive this is to play something like that of that caliber on the go. It's very, very impressive. Did you play around with the mouse? That's the only thing I have not done yet.
I messed around with it, dude. I don't like it because makers have big hands. It just seems kind of awkward. I'll have to get a game that obviously supports it, but it's just the Joy-Con's kind of small for me. So it's like, it's nowhere near. I like the mice to have weight to fill your hand kind of thing. So maybe that's another thing, just me becoming adapted to the smaller, lighter thing. right? Where I'm probably going to get Metroid Prime 4 just to test it because I mean, there's no game right now for Switch 2. Well, I guess I could get third party that
Yeah,
supports it,
like
but I'm not
because
going to.
apparently
Uh,
Cyberpunk is fully compatible, keyboard, mouse.
yeah,
The
well,
whole
I'm not
thing.
buying
No. I
Cyberpunk.
know. Yeah, no, no. I get that.
I'll buy it for PC on freaking winter sale, summer, fall sale
Mhm.
for virtually nothing. But anyways, I did mess around with it just to feel it, and it might be serviceable, but I have to play a game, guys. We'll get back to that to you one day. It's not anytime soon because I don't see myself getting a Switch 2 game. Uh, I'm not paying $80 for Donkey Kong, and this is something I want to take some time to talk about, dude, because the old golden question online right now is Mario Kart World worth $80? What we get, I don't see why it's $80.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I think honestly,
I don't understand why it's that cost. I understand because Nintendo wants to milk their customers dry. Well, put it bluntly, I think they're testing the waters, and unfortunately, like I said, the launch is going to be a bad measure, guys, because the launch is going to sell out no matter what. Any game, right? They could have charged $100 to still fly off this. Shows what we have to see what it's going to be 6 months to a year from now going forward. And honestly, Jared, I think Nintendo's going to win because the industry, not only Nintendo, the industry is going to this higher cost. Like look at rumor for Grand Theft Auto. We keep talking about $100. I guarantee you that will fly off the shelves at $100.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like the consumers, it's a losing battle.
Yeah, like look, I think just based on the sales that we've seen, I think what's going to end up happening is you're going to have folks like me who are going to complain about it. I'm going to buy the game. I'm just not going to buy as many as I used to. And I think that's going to... Well, I don't buy as many games, or play as many games, rather, compared to what I used to. But I do think that just in general, people in general, I think that's what's going to end up happening. Is like they'll pay the new price, but just won't buy as many.
Pay less. And that will hurt everyone's bottom line, not just Nintendo. A quick thing, though. Like I said, I wanted to talk about Mario. When I'm playing it, it brings flashbacks. It took a little while to get used to it, Gerald. I haven't played a Mario Kart in over 11 years, right? But, dude, it is still that charm. It's still that fun.
Of course,
it's chaotic.
You
get that Mario Kart experience, and that's the reason why I love that series, and I can't wait to play with the Discord community. If you guys are interested, join our Discord. It's on the YouTube channel. Yeah, but it could have been $49.99. Well, I paid $49.99, so I'm happy because I got the bundle. That's
it's just I think
get it standalone.
I think, dude, like you're not gonna have a choice. Like you honestly think Zelda, Pokemon, all of this, they're all gonna be $80 now, all of them.
Now Zelda.
Well, for me, I don't have a choice.
I want to see what Zelda's like, dude, because definitely, like you said, is definitely a more powerful system. I love that.
Yeah.
Zelda. The problem is, will Zelda be or what I want it to be, or will it be Nintendo's version of it? And most likely it'll be Nintendo's version. I love the series. Will I pay $80 for Zelda? It depends. If I could get at least 80 hours out of it, I would consider it. I told you that, Jared. Like Donkey Kong, that's what. I guarantee you probably won't get 15 hours out of it. I don't think it's... All those type of platforming games are short.
Well, it depends on which game do you say? Not 15
Donkey
hours?
Kong.
Oh, it depends on if it's like Odyssey. If it's like Odyssey, it'll be around 30 hours.
Okay. All right. I'll give you benefit of the doubt. 30 hours, $80. It's bad investment. Zelda's, though, you could sink a lot of hours into.
Well, that depends. It depends on if it's going to be open world again, which I'm sure it will be.
I'm probably sure.
Then, then it'll be 200 plus hours, like easily.
So, if you get... I told you my golden rule, $1 per gameplay investment cost. So if I could get at least 80 hours of it, I usually like to get 20 plus hours more, but if I could get 80 plus hours on the Zelda, then I'm most likely willing to get it. Because I do realize that it's never going to go on sale. I told you, Mario Kart 8, how long did I wait?
Like for you,
sale, and it never happened.
What I was telling you before you pre-ordered, right, was like you're going to need to come to terms with these prices. Like if you want to experience, and guys, this is a message for everybody. if you want to experience Nintendo games moving forward, don't kid yourself. They're going to be $70 and $80 from here on out. Like, that's pretty much what it's going to be. And that's a you thing, right? Like, only you can make that decision if that's okay. I told you what I'm going to do. Like, for me, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to, that's exactly what's going to end up happening. But these are this is like my childhood. These are like some of my favorite games ever made are from this company. Like,
exactly. And to really, or reinforce what I just said, is I really love Disney Speedstorm. Excellent game. The only thing I don't like about it is, it's designed for transactions. So that's one prop for Mario. There's some things in that game I wish Mario Kart did. But I'm telling you, man, when I was playing World for that little bit of time, it still has that stuff I love about the series. So for me, I'm going to get a good amount. And the fact that we'll probably have weekly sessions, at least on Discord, I'll get my money.
Yeah, dude, let me know about that. Let me, remind me of that, because,
I'll put events, that way you could sign up.
Yeah, sure, because, even...
that would just keep it... And I'll still ping you, because I know you're busy. But stuff like... Oh, Cranberry, I don't know if you noticed, joined our Discord.
Yeah, I played...
I've been trying to get her on it for years, and it's great to have
I played with her this morning. I played some Fantasy Life with her. That's a fun game, man. It's like,
is it a cross-platform with the PC or no? I'll have to look on. If it is, I'll play with you guys.
I think it might be, because when you sign,
maybe I'll just get it on the Switch.
When you sign in, it's like press X for cross save or something like that.
Oh, then then that's good. I'll look into it.
Yeah,
I'll probably get it for the Switch.
Look into it, but dude,
I tell you, dude, I'm not gonna get any other games for Switch anytime soon, man. What else am I gonna get? Like Cyberpunk? I might get Street Fighter 6. The only reason is because of the Pro Controller. The only problem is Street Fighter 6 goes on sale all the time on PC.
Yeah, but it's everything is why, right? Like, why would you buy one version over another version or whatever, right? So, like Cyberpunk, why would I have my beastly PC?
Why would you buy it on Switch too?
Because I wanted to test to see like what was, and I gotta say, man, it's really impressive for.
Okay, I can understand that for channel. I can understand it. Yeah, okay.
and
I wouldn't buy it.
And I tested, and I got another public service warning for everybody. Okay. When you go into your Switch 2, it doesn't matter if it's in portable mode, if it's connected to a monitor, whatever, go down into the display settings. I forget exactly what it is. And you'll see there's one thing in the display settings, one like menu item or row or whatever the hell it is, where you can see output. It says something output, like output resolution or output display, something like that. Guys, click on that, because it's extremely important. There seems to be some handshaking issues between the game, the system, and the television. And really? Yeah, so this is really important. And I think this could be your issue with the graphics card. Your capture card.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, when I connect it to my TV, sometimes it will default to 120 hertz. Now, if it defaults to 120 hertz, that is only in 1080 and 1440p. But if you're blowing it up on a television, you don't want that. You want it at 4K 60 hertz, because the resolution,
I saw that, by the way.
The resolution is way better, because if you don't do that, your games are going to look like washed out, and you're like, what the hell? And there's only currently, I think, 2 games that actually support 120 hertz mode. So what I've been recommending to everyone is just shut off the 120 hertz mode, because otherwise, like Mario Kart doesn't support it.
There's another thing too that's in there that's called it's for I think it's similar to that, where you could all software, but you could only compatible software.
HDR. You're talking about the HDR.
Yeah, HDR.
Thing. Yeah,
make sure you put it to only compatible software, not all software. Yeah. So that will help as well. So there's little tricks you guys can do. But yeah, first impressions, I agree with you, man. I don't like the menu being virtually identical. I mean, they did animate stuff, which is cool. Mario Kart looks beautiful. It brings back that old charm that I love in that series, and I can't wait to play with our Discord members. I'll play online too, just because the knockout mode tour is going to be awesome. I love that whole thrill of, oh god, I have to come in the first 8 or you get eliminated. That is really cool. That's cool that Nintendo actually put a cool different new mode, but the game is interesting that they don't. It's been 11 years in those whole traveling to the different courses. I mean, I'm not that mad. I know some issues people want they're purists, which is funny, man. These companies change a few things and about it. That just shows you how it's challenging for developers because people don't want change. And anyways, we're not going to dwell into that.
No, yeah, I
but
wanted
yeah,
to.
the game's a lot of fun. If it was $49.99, I'd say hands down buy it. But I recommend if you're going to buy the game, get the bundle. The only problem is the bundle's a time exclusive, so we don't know how long it's going to be available. But like again, if you're a Mario Kart fan, is it worth $79.99 USD? You know, obviously you pay more. You're probably going to give in because if you sink thousands or hundreds of hours into Mario Kart 8.
But dude, I keep telling you, it's not even going to be a question of time. It's going to be
exactly.
if you want to experience.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to experience this.
Exactly. And that's what Steven's right about is the consumer. He always finds it funny that people argue about cost of stuff. He says, dude, it's ridiculous. It's the consumer who decides the value. And that's 100% true. I know we get comments on YouTube how these get greedy practices, and that's such immature. Again, I'll say it's a very immature mindset. These are businesses; they're not your friends. Electronic Arts, even indie. I love how people bring indie companies. The difference between indie companies and the big dogs are, yes, they're a lot more quote unquote passionate. Yet they listen to community feedback because they're small, dude. They can. Big executives at Nintendo, Electronic, they don't sit there on YouTube or Discord, and the developers aren't interactive. So I'll give that to indie companies. By the end of the day, indie companies, quote unquote, might be making games for passion. They're doing it at the same time to make money. And a lot of indie titles flop. A lot of them don't. But people need to understand that they're not there for they're not your friend. They're not there to make, your little Jimmys and Timmys and Jareds out there.
How dare you
want your money? But the point is, people have such online. It's just you read these comments, and it's just you sit there and you wonder, are these people dumb? I know we're gonna probably get ripped apart. But I'm just sorry.
So for me, like I said, it's weird because like I'm having a really good time with the platform. Absolutely love the new chat feature thing. It's so convenient. Like if I see Tim, if I see you,
don't have to do this anymore to talk.
No, but man, it's so seriously. I got to tell you guys, of every console ever, this is the most convenient ever. Like
but
ever.
Jared, you have to remember though, since Xbox 360, it's not new. Nintendo finally got around with it.
But the thing is, this is new. No one has done this. Where no headsets,
the screen sharing?
No headsets, no nothing.
Oh.
Everything is built in. And guys, the quality,
wait.
The quality is incredible for.
That's good. That's
for
good.
The voice.
But wait a minute. I thought the Xbox and all of them have mics built into their.
They do. Have you ever used it?
No.
It's horrible.
Is it bad?
You hear click, 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 click.
Oh, okay,
you know.
That's bad. All right.
But
so
this
you gotta give props to Nintendo.
Yeah, seriously. Like Steven and I, for God's sakes, his system was like 15 feet away from him, and I can hear him perfectly. Like,
yeah, I heard you perfectly on the Switch too. So that's good.
It's crazy.
Thinking of sound, before we go, I gotta give props though. That Nintendo music, like when you boot up Mario Kart World, that fucking music's awesome. I gotta give props.
Yeah,
the soundtrack is really, really good. And it gets to you sit there playing these old courses that have been redone, and you hear that music, and it just brings a smile to my face, man. Hearing those like the cow level, think about that. It's the music. Was that a Super NES level? I can't remember.
You'd have to ask Ahmed, man.
Yeah. So or was it N64? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
This is my thing. Like hardware, I'm so happy that we have a real beefy piece of hardware here. Now, is it already outdated and this and that and everything else? Yeah. Whatever. Like honestly, whatever. When I played the Switch 1, I was super annoyed with Breath of the Wild because I mean, it was amazing and everything, but they dumbed it down so that the Switch port wouldn't be inferior to the Wii U port. Because if you guys remember, the whole mechanic of switching out your gear, right? That was done purposely because you had a tablet. So you would just tap the tablet in order to change your weapons. You had an open world, you would touch in order to put like a waypoint. But they removed all of these features when they announced that it was coming to the Switch, and they gave us a BS thing of like, oh, it wasn't working right. Yeah, okay. Everyone played it at like events and it worked perfectly fine. So that was annoying, like that sort of thing. But this time, it's like, I feel like they have the hardware. I still am. I'm a little like, that would have been cool if they would have at least maybe gave like custom backgrounds or just a little something.
They have that,
I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's a little too much of a copy paste compared to the original Switch. I totally get why they did this. And it's just a personal thing. It's just a personal thing to me that every time you go from one Nintendo machine to the next Nintendo machine, there's like this big, like, oh, cool, like, like
differences. Different. Yes, exactly.
So this is the only one that I didn't have that. And on a personal note, because I've said this so many times, but because Mario Kart is a +1 game to me, it's such a weird feeling to me because it feels like it's like you've got this hardware, like this awesome hardware. I love the game chat stuff. I think that's absolutely awesome. But then I'm like, but I don't have a Nintendo game to play. Like, it's weird. It's
you're going to play with us. Don't worry.
Yeah, but
I understand what you mean. I understand with you. But like right now, the Switch 2 launch is actually impressive. It has a lot of games. No one's, like I said, I don't think people are really focusing, but a lot of it's ports. So it's nothing quote unquote new, which is, again, it's good because I love seeing this trend, and this is a trend we're going to go. It's not going to be like day one. Oh, Mario Kart World. Oh, shoot. How long do we have to wait? And like Sega, all these games are just coming out of the blue. That Default Bravery 1 is getting remaked as going to be released for the Switch. So,
Bravely Default is already out, man. I have it.
The first one, no, the remake, not the one that came for Switch. So it's out. Oh yeah, you're right. It was. So that was a shadow drop. All of a sudden, it's like stuff.
And
like
dude,
happening.
that one is like way cheaper. Like,
oh yeah.
But anyway, so my point with this, like for me personally, is that I feel like we've got this awesome piece of like hardware, but I think for me, it really is going to launch on July 17th. Like that's going to be for
Donkey
me.
Kong.
Yeah, because it's a new game, and that's always been my thing with like the sports sort of titles. Like it could be the soccer, it could be golf, it could be whatever. I don't know what it is. Again, it's only a Jared thing, guys. It's just me. But like with kart, it's like Gran Turismo. When the next Gran Turismo comes out, I'm always like, okay, but it's still Gran Turismo. I know Mario's the same and Zelda's the same. I get it. It's still iterations of the same series. But for whatever reason, I don't know why, I always feel that those games are like truly new. Whereas with this, like, don't get me wrong, everything you're saying is right. The music was awesome. The gameplay, it's been too long since I played a Mario Kart. I'm trying to remember drifting. Like,
it's pretty easy in here, and it looks like you don't have to drift. Back in the day, you have to drift consistently at all times, but now here you just have to do it on corners. Well, it's peers. We'll see when we get online. But anyways. Thinking of controllers and new features though, is Nintendo fun? Because one thing I hate about it is when you go to Xbox controller, it's reversed, right? A and B. Yeah. Now on the Switch 2, you can go into settings and change Switch A and B settings, and it'll go natively into the game. So anyone who's PlayStation, Xbox will feel at home now. That's something that should have been done on the, I don't know, maybe it is on the Switch one. I have to check. But who cares at this point? But yeah, that's great. The fact that you could do that, because I'll always do that, dude. Because I play with controller a little bit on a few games on the PC. So when I go to the Switch, I'm like, God damn it, I'm pressing the wrong button because Anyways, that's good. Yeah, I really have been a fan of Mario Kart. I will definitely enjoy playing with our. I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way and play the open mode, or go out of my way and what's it called? unlock everything. But maybe I will. I don't know. I really don't. The problem with the open world mode I hear is you just basically unlock stickers for your cart. I don't know. Maybe I'm being bad because I think gamers are being conditioned now to always want rewards rather than playing games for fun and leisure. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh no, what am I getting out of it? We have some Discord members.
Yeah.
Pegasus.
Oh, Pegasus.
That only plays games if there's progression, like battle passes. He wants to be rewarded for his time. It's like, I can understand that. I kind of agree with him, but at the same time, there's certain games that you don't need that. You just play for fun. And Mario Kart to me is like, oh no, I already locked some on characters, which is fine. You do it organically, and I do think I was reading a podcast about that or listening to one. They say that's true. We're being conditioned to that carrot on the stick rather than the NES era. Tell me, dude, you played games because you loved the game. You played the game. You wanted to finish the game. They were challenging, right? You didn't get any I mean, there was unlockables. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but the bulk of them, there was no really unlockable. You like Mario Brothers, you would find the secret levels and stuff. That was the thrill, right? But yeah, we're being conditioned for it, and I think that's kind of bad in a way because people are consistently short attention spans. They want to go to the next big thrill, and we're not playing games for fun anymore. You know, obviously, it's different per person. Steven, you do agree with it.
Steven just texted me. He's like, dude, go get Split Fiction now. He's like, absolutely awesome.
Which one? Is that the one with the...
No, that's the one from, oh, God, what was it called?
Oh, I know. That's a co-op. On PC.
It's a co-op.
I don't know. Hey, tell Steven, though. Text him back. I'll just text him. I haven't talked to him for a while. So we're definitely going to have Mario Kart sessions. So maybe I'll join you. Okay, look. That fantasy game you're playing, I love cozy games, right? You know, but the visuals just kill it, dude. I don't like anime. And I know Square Enix had, like, Dragon Quest. Luckily, the game was good, but I was turned off by Dragon Quest XI's visuals. But luckily, the game, I put 90 hours into it. But I'm just not a fan of that style, so I don't know if I'm going to join you, dude. But we have, like, Mario Kart, and we'll have other games. But thinking of cozy, I was going to say Square does a good job of having anime themed or anime visuals, but they don't do the over-the-top silly goofiness that I don't like. So I got to give props to Square. Very rare is there a Square game I sit to like, well, Dragon Quest.
Okay, all right.
You know, Dragon Quest.
Listen, no, what I really enjoyed with Fantasy Life, what I have been enjoying with Fantasy Life has been the kind of mix where it's like an action RPG.
Oh no, it's getting really good reviews, dude.
Mixed with like your more like Animal Crossing cozy type of game.
Quick thing, what's the co-op for? To go on adventures, kill monsters?
It's kind of like Monster Hunter, believe it or not. So you make an instance and you go to one of your worlds, so either your world or I'll go to your world, and then you just mess around, take down like some of the larger like monsters. You can do the crafting together, so you can help each other with like some of the higher level like trees you want to cut down or fish that you want to catch, that kind of stuff. What I like about it is there's a leveling system on every one of their lives, which is basically a class. So every class that you take, you have harvesting classes, then you have like creative classes, so the classes where like the cooking, tailoring, blacksmithing, that kind of stuff, and then you have your action classes where you have like a hunter, you have like a mage, dude, it's not, no, listen to me, it's a major time investment if you want to get good at these, and you need to progress the game far enough. Like Cranberry and I, we just unlocked like the second island, and it's not enough. Like it's just not enough. Like we played together for like maybe 45 minutes, and it's enough. Like there's nothing else we could do. We were just like, okay, because you can't progress the story together. You can't do quests together. They don't allow any of that. So no, for you, Tim, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
All right, I'll think about it one day. Those are by the time I get around to it, you move on, because for the foreseeable future, Dune Awakening is going to be my main jam. Just to let you know, I have more hours in it than I have in Monster Hunter Wilds. It just shows you know how you couldn't get me to play that game. I mean, I liked it, but I finished the story and I'm done. I'm not done. I'll go back to it
Well, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the damn title update. And
yeah.
And
See,
dude, where the hell is our cross save progression? If they would do that, I would buy it for Switch.
That's what we're trying to. Oh, wow, you do that? Okay. Well, I think it will come to Switch.
Oh, it's for sure. For sure.
Quick thing though is what's cool about the Monster Hunter series is there's no rush, there's no carrot on the stick. They keep adding this stuff and they stop supporting it, so you can do it at any time, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like it's going away. That I kind of like that model, or they're set up for a little bit, even though I kind of want it to be a progressive game that lasts for years, so a little on the fence. But I do like that because like you could go to Rise right now and just work on all the event quests. They never go away. I love that. I wish more games would do that, because this fear of missing out is such a huge mechanic that modern games have been using for a long time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just like Dead by Daylight, I haven't played it for a long time now, and I'm going to miss out on the current event with the Witcher skin stuff that we're going to get. So, and I love the Witcher. So yeah, you see, I don't like that. So, but yeah, Dune Awakening's mine for a while, until it starts getting stale, which hopefully won't, because Funcom does usually a really good job at supporting their games. They got content in the back coming up, so we'll see. But yeah, I probably won't get that. But the Mario Kart Sessions is good. That's a pick me up type title, meaning you just play with your friends a couple hours of BAM. If you want to sit there hardcore, of course you can, but it's not a game that requires time commitment, which is great. That's why I like about Disney's Speedstorm is it does require a lot of commitment. I don't think that's good for a kart racer, but at the end of the day, it's free to play and they want to make money, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, thinking of DLC, do you think Mario Kart World will get DLC? I think guaranteed.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Will it be charged is the question. Will they have the audacity to charge $80?
Yes, it'll be charged. Yeah, guaranteed. Yeah, come on, man. Like, for sure.
Maybe they'll do the thing is if you get the Nintendo Online Plus, you will get it included like they did with 8. Then that would be enticing for me to do that then. Because I still have the base. I haven't updated to the Plus because I don't feel the justification for it. But if World does it, maybe I will.
Well, look at that. We did an entire thing about Switch. So, guys, I'm really curious to hear what do you guys think of the Switch. Because sometimes it's not clear in what I'm saying. Like, I hope I'm making sense. Like, where, like, I just feel like right now, like, this is a really impressive piece of hardware, but I'm playing essentially a Switch 1 game more than sort of anything else. And I'm really looking forward to next month, because then, to me, at least from a Nintendo standpoint, I'll have something I can sort of sink my teeth into. Cart, let me know when we're going to do those events, because I'll gladly join. I don't care if I come in last place. It's fun. And that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, Cart is fun. It's just, it's not my type of game where I'm going to play it for 400 hours, like in, like trying to shave like a split second off my lap time. Like, that's not me. But anyway, guys, okay. Thank you all for joining. If you have a Switch 2, let us know what your thoughts are. Yeah. What are you playing right now? I'm really curious. Sounds like Steven bought every game under the sun for it, because he keeps texting me.
I thought Steven was out of gaming.
He was.
All of a sudden he changed his.
Yeah, I don't know. So good. It's good. It's.
I wonder what his thoughts on Mario Kart World is.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him.
I have to text him.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him about that, so I don't know. So anyways, guys, okay. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.